Hello and welcome to Keys to the Market with RaciaSellsHomes, Realtor at the House Store. Today on this episode, we're going to talk about a buyer key. We're going to talk about something that comes up in almost every transaction, but is often misunderstood, and that is home warranties. And to help us unpack that, I have a special guest today, Christina Leigh with Old Republic Home Warranty. Christina, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Racia. I'm really glad you had me on it.
You're welcome. So can you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and your company?
I sure can. So I handle for Home Warranties the state of Tennessee, and then I also handle a little bit over the border for Georgia and a little bit for Kentucky. And Old Republic as a company, our parent company, has been around for over 100 years, and the home warranty side of it was established over 50 years ago. And it was actually brought into play, established for homeowners after the sale to protect them. So it gives them budget protection, and it makes sure that they, their appliances and everything in the house, that they have something that they can pay for that's budget, and it will cover that as well. So that's how we were started.
Awesome, great. Okay, so first question, let's just kind of start with the basics. A lot of buyers hear home warranty and they assume it's the same thing as homeowner's insurance, but it is not the same thing. So can you kind of clear that up a little bit?
Sure. So you gotta look at it this way. Homeowner insurance is like the outside of the house. If something happens, a tornado, that kind of thing, whatever. The home warranties cover the inside of the house. So appliances, HVAC systems, heaters, any of that, that's what's covered under your home warranty plan.
Okay, great. So let's talk about HVAC systems. Water heaters, kitchen appliances. So are those the type of things we're talking about that's covered?
They sure are. They sure are.
And so is it just the appliance itself? Is it the components that go with it, or all of it?
Yeah, typically think of mechanics. The mechanics of it is what we really pay for, that kind of thing. But with HVAC systems, I don't know if anybody's checked those out recently, but an HVAC system can cost $10,000 or more if it totally dies. They have an age limit on them, so they can technically die. And so the home warranty covers that, and it's like, so much less money for that, and that's what protects people that way. So
yeah, and there's definitely a bonus to have a home warranty if your HVAC system goes out, for sure.
Yes, it is. It is.
That is a lot of money, because you could save thousands if you have to have an HVAC unit replaced, for sure.
And it's not when, it's if. That's what we always say.
It's if, yes.
No, I'm sorry, it's not if, it's when it's going to happen, because something's going to break down, especially in summertime, in our hot summers.
Yeah, and that's when it usually happens.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's 100 degrees outside, and that's when the HVAC goes out. Or it's really, really cold in the winter, and that's when the heat goes out. Yep. That's the way it seems to happen.
You're right about that.
So you want a home warranty to cover that, so that you're covered and you can get that repair made with a reasonable price.
Very true.
Okay, so that's a huge thing for first-time home buyers, because they spend a lot of money on a home. And then if they move into a home after they've spent that much money, and then a major appliance or component goes out or tears up, then that's a huge major expense that a lot of times they don't have a budget for, because they've just used all of their budget to get into the home. So when does a home warranty typically come into play during the real estate transaction from you? I know for us, we generally talk about it. We talk about it with the seller, try to get the seller to put one on, but if the seller does not, for us, it usually comes into play more so when we're negotiating the contract, or when the repair comes in from the home inspection. So from your end, is that kind of typically what you see as well, or do you see something a little different?
Well, the last couple of months, maybe since January, with the market kind of shifting, it's been the sellers that are putting them on. I just did 2 today where it was the sellers that were going to pay for it. They don't put any money down until when the house closes, so that covers them as well during that time when it's on the market, and so that's why it's a better option to put it then. Technically, you really should put it on when the house is first listed. It just helps them, tremendously that way. And you were talking about the money part and everything else. Some staggering statistics for that are, in the first year, 83% of new home buyers have to have a major repair done on the house, inside, on the appliances. And 53% of those only have $1,000 in saving, which is scary. But what's even scarier is 43% of that same population, it's usually $5,000 or more for the home appliance. So that's a lot of money when you think
That is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And after you've just purchased a home and you've had to have down payment money, home inspection money, money for the appraisal, earnest money, all these things. So sometimes there's not necessarily a budget left to have a $5,000 repair made. So home warranty definitely can come into play there for sure. I've seen it help close deals because the buyers can feel more confident, especially if there's older systems in the home, but also from the aspect of once they get the home inspection report back, sometimes the seller can just offer a home warranty because that kind of will cover some things that might be questionable from the inspection. So do you see that same scenario from your side?
Yeah, and as long as they're in good working order, that's what the true thing is. They have to be in good working order. That's why the inspector checks everything. He turns the HVAC on to make sure it's cold, even in winter, that kind of thing. So as long as they do that and the report shows that it's good working order, then yeah, it's definitely covered.
Okay, great. That's good. So let's talk about what's covered and are all warranties the same? I know for seller, they just have the one, but for buyers, there's actually options.
Yes, and so typically the rule of thumb is the older the house, the more advanced, or more hefty of a warranty you want to put on the house. That just protects you. I mean, if you have a 20-year-old house, 25-year-old house, that kind of thing, you definitely want to try to get as much of a warranty as you can on that house. It really protects them. It really does. And no, not all warranty companies are the same. Like for us, two of our major things are the HVAC systems and the heaters. We don't have a dollar limit on that, and we don't have a max limit on that too. So if they have 2 HVAC systems in the house and both were to die, we cover both of them. If they have, the heater and something else, we cover that as well. So when you're looking at home warranties, definitely read the fine print on the home warranties and see what it says. Because a lot of them put like $3,000 max or $5,000 max. That doesn't help that much when you're, to replace it with $10,000.
Yeah,
there's a $7,000 difference here. So you definitely want to do that.
Somebody has to come up with that $7,000. So in that case, it falls to the buyer. So definitely read the fine print and make sure what your warranty covers. So can you give just kind of a brief rundown on the differences on the categories and the coverage?
So silver is for sellers, really, it's the starting level. And then the next step up is gold, and then platinum. So platinum handles the most of everything, and then gold covers a lot of that as well. You can sit online at orhp.com as well to read them. And it lists everything out too in our plans. We have all of our terms and conditions, we have our limitations, so we have all of that listed as well, so it's not a surprise to anybody, which is really good.
Right.
And then we have additional add-ons. So we have like a limited roof repair. If we have a new feature this year, which is amazing, that's for $75 as an add-on, they can get up to $1,000 worth of coverage if their HVAC dies or their heater or they have a pipe burst and they can't get it fixed within 24 hours. They can go stay at a hotel for $200 a night for up to $1,000 until that does get fixed. So that's a really popular option right now this year.
That is, because if it can't get fixed in time, sometimes you can't stay in the home.
No.
So that is definitely a nice add-on
Not
option.
summertime when it's 100 degrees and 100% humidity. No.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good to know because they're not one size fits all, and every buyer is going to have a different budget, every buyer is going to have different needs, and every house is going to be different. Like Christina said, depending on the age and other factors, you're going to want to kind of look at the different options that you can have. So it is not a one size fits all. But what about the process? Let's say they buy the house and then something breaks down. So what does the homeowner do? Can you kind of walk us through the process of what they would do at that point, the new homeowner?
It's actually a really easy process. They can go online, like I mentioned, at www.orhp.com. It has Homeowners Central right there at the top. They can put the claim in, and then they'll get a call, let them know when the company's going to come out and work with them, or they can call our 800 line, either one. Although in summertime, I say go to the website. It's a little better than calling the 800 line.
Yeah.
Yep, it's real simple to do that way.
Okay. And then what about like if, let's say the HVAC unit goes out and there's not a company that can get to it, or if we're in an outlying area, because with Knox County, we have a lot of surrounding counties that are outliers. So what if somebody's a little distance out and there's not a company that can service that? So what happens at that point?
So we have a lot of contractors, vendors under our plan that can service the areas, but if there doesn't happen to be one right there, first we have to make sure we can cover the area. And second, if they know of a plumbing company or HVAC company in that area, we can use them. They just have to call our 800 number line when they first go out to the house to get approval for that.
Okay.
So it covers both.
Sounds great.
Yep.
So a fix for everything, it sounds like. Okay, so let's talk next about the cost can be stressful, but scrambling to find a contractor on your own can be stressful too.
Yes.
So like if you don't buy the home warranty and then your HVAC goes out, you've got to figure out who you're going to use. You've got to get the estimates. You've got to do, find who's reputable. Whereas if they have a home warranty,
we take care of all that. Less stress, save time, it's budget protection. So we take care of all of that. And we make sure that all of our people are vetted and thoroughly checked out as well.
so you don't have to worry about, oh, who do I know, or going on to like a list somewhere, an online list, trying to find somebody that you can call to get out there. You're going to have a list of reputable vendors from Old Republic to go out and take care of your problem.
That's true too. They know if they come from us, they come to the door, we vetted them. So we know that they're, all of that stuff is taken care of so that you can feel good about having them in your house.
Yeah, and that does take a lot of stress off for sure. Okay, so let's be real for a second though. There are some limitations and we know that it's not going to cover everything. So can you talk a little bit about what some of the limitations might be?
Yeah, so when you first order it or get it set up, you're gonna get a declaration sheet from us that's gonna list everything. And then our brochures also, which we have in English, Spanish, and we have property management brochures as well. They lay everything out. So all of our terms and conditions are in there, so it's gonna show exactly what they cover. But if you kind of think really it's like the mechanics of it, that's the best part. Like if you have an outside pool, it's the motor. It's not gonna be the filter liner, that kind of thing. So if you think that way, it'll help you as well too.
Okay, great. That sounds really good. So they should always read the contract carefully too. I want to add that because I know in the past when I've had people buy a home warranty, they'll just buy one and they don't necessarily read it. We always ask, please read, please make sure you understand. Make sure if you have any questions, please ask before we sign anything. But inevitably somebody will call and say, well, I thought this was covered and it says it's not. So it is extremely important, and we both want to urge any buyer or seller putting a home warranty on a property, be sure you read the fine print, read the contract, make sure you understand what you are getting, what the limitations are, what the exclusions might be, just because then you're not going to be down the road thinking you had coverage for something that you don't.
Yeah.
So that will help alleviate a lot of those issues ahead of time for sure.
It does.
So before we wrap up, is there any benefits that we didn't talk about that you can think of you want to talk about from the home warranty?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything. Like I mentioned, we've been around for a long time. We have lots of stability. Our call centers are US-based call centers, so when you call that it's a US-based call center. They start, PST time all across the different country, as far as that, but just pay attention to it. Look at what you really need and what you want the coverage and see who has that. And pay attention to the max, like some of them offer like $3,000 max on an HVAC system, which we talked about, or a heater. You want to get a company that doesn't have that into it. Because when you're looking at that, you really need to get the most bang for your buck. Yeah, it's budget protection, but you want to make sure you get the best protection.
Yes.
And again, putting it on when the house first is listed, that covers everybody. That's the best time to do it.
That is the best time to do it.
It is.
But if a seller hasn't done it, buyers, for you, there are still options, and you obviously, and even if the seller doesn't agree to purchase one, you can purchase one as well. At closing, or how long after closing they have?
They have up to 60 days after closing to purchase it or to change it. Like if the seller puts on a silver and they want platinum, they can bump up and pay it themselves. Right now, the most I'm seeing is the sellers are putting them on and the agents are giving them as closing gifts. So that's the two things that has changed in the last couple of months a lot.
Okay, that sounds great. So if you have questions beyond what we talked about, like more in detail, reach out to either one of us. If you have questions about something maybe we didn't cover, reach out to either one of us. I will have all of Christina's contact information along with the podcast. I will have all of my contact information. So any questions, please reach out. We would be more than happy to answer those. And Christina, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it. And thank you to everybody else too.
Thank you. And just remember, if you're looking to buy or sell a house or any kind of real estate, RaciaSellsHomes, Realtor at the house door, where every move matters.